We all know the scene. The patient lies on the hospital bed, near death's door. The doctor quietly asks if they would like to try a new experimental drug that, though untested, just might work. The patient nods. After all, it couldn't possibly make them worse. Yeah. About that, turns out there's a big difference between ending your life in hopeless misery and hopeless agony. In a wide-ranging study, the Journal of Clinical Oncology found that less than a third of experimental drugs had a beneficial effect on the patient, while 2/3 resulted in at least one severe or life-threatening side effect. You may be dying anyway, but taking these drugs is more likely to speed the process up than save your life. When we get a virus or an infection, most of us go to our doctor, get a fistful of antibiotics and knock it on the head. Simple. Only it really isn't. See, antibiotics aren't big money spinners, meaning those bribe factories up there aren't interested in investing in new ones. Then you have an utterly terrifying phenomenon known as antibiotic resistance. Put simply, the super-fast process of evolution in bacteria allows strains with resistance to certain drugs to multiply until nearly all of them are immune. Then we're in trouble. All those nasty Victorian illnesses we thought we wiped out a century or so ago might come back with a vengeance. Already, gonorrhea and E. coli are shrugging off antibiotics like it ain't no thing, and it might be about to get a whole lot worse. When not being actively neglectful, some doctors endanger patients through sheer laziness. Long Island North Shore University Hospital was found a few years back to have a hand-washing rate of 10%. Keep in mind we've known since 1847 that by washing their hands, doctors can reduce basically all of the death. Wait, it gets worse. According to a report, hundreds of doctors and nurses are neglecting to check routine things like patient blood pressure, either because they forget, or simply can't be asked. Things have gotten so bad where basic care is concerned, that doctors in a Worcestershire hospital were forced to prescribe tap water just to make sure the nurses bothered to give patients the fluid they needed to survive. I would go on. But honestly, some of these stories are just too depressing. I like to think of surgery as a last resort, something hospitals do only when they have to. The idea of someone knocking us out and digging around inside our body for no discernible reason is more than many of us can bear. So look away now. One report found that 4,000 women a year are opened up to treat benign breast tumors that would never have harmed them in the first place. Given the trauma that often results from such invasive surgery, those numbers aren't great. If you think that's bad, wait till you hear about Dr. Ian Patterson. According to this story, he stands accused of opening up and mutilating 450 women because psychosis. That's why. Equally depressing is this recent story on a Kentucky hospital being sued by 400 patients for performing surgery with the sole intention of raking in the subsequent insurance payouts. Businesses have some aspect of performance-related pay. After all, targets speed up productivity, get lazy asses in gear and improve performance. What's not to like? Well, according to this story, government-imposed targets at one UK hospital were so damaging they were actually killing patients. By piling pressure on doctors and managers to achieve unrealistic goals, bosses were simply ensuring patient safety took a back seat, with predictable consequences. In 2008, a Royal College of Nursing survey concluded 78% of nurses felt patient care was compromised by the need to hit these impossible figures, with a further 93% saying they felt under undue pressure. If there's one person in your life you really don't want stressed out to the point of distraction, it's the one who's meant to be saving it.